Hello everybody, my name is Jeff Connor, and today I'm going to be talking to you about electronic cigarettes. What I want you to take away from this is how to make your own juice for electronic cigarettes, but I'm going to assume that whoever may be watching this video doesn't know anything about the industry right now. So the first thing I'd like to do, start off and show you a couple of different models of things that you might expect to see. You might have seen them around, seen it in the news. There's a lot of controversy right now. It's a highly unregulated industry, and it's marketed towards smokers to quit smoking, but it's also marketed to people that have never smoked before as kind of a new fad, much like the old cigarette ads used to be. The way these work, though, is basically this big box, the body here, these are just batteries, okay? And then there's a circuit board in there that controls the voltage and the wattage, and it sends it up to your tank that holds your liquid, but it also has a metal coil in it. Now, think of the coil kind of like a traditional old-style light bulb that when you ran electricity through it, the filament got red hot, it would light up the room. It's the same thing that happens in here, and the reason that that coil gets so hot is so that it can turn the liquid rapidly into a vapor. Now, when I say vapor, think of boiling a pot of water on your stove. You boil the water, once it gets hot enough, the steam rises up. Same basic principle with this, only it happens a lot more rapidly, and you're going to inhale it. Now, next thing you got is these commercial bought liquids. These are what you're going to find at your store, on your online retailers. Okay, they got all kind of crazy names and fancy flavors and things like that. You can find pretty much anything that you want, anything that you're looking for. But what interests me is what's actually in it. So I got to looking, and I said, well, this seems pretty simple. And I looked online, and I found a bunch of different places that I could find resources to where I can make it myself, and I'm a do-it-yourself type of guy. So I said, well, let me give that a shot. I ordered a bunch of the ingredients. This is what we're going to be using today. Your main ingredients are propylene glycerin and vegetable glycol. Then you're going to add flavoring and a nicotine level of your choice. Like I said, the body is going to be the PG and the VG mixture, and depending on which you want more, if you're one of the guys that likes to have the giant clouds of smoke, the more vegetable glycerin you put in there, the more smoke you're going to get. If you're more of a traditional, I want the effects of smoking a cigarette, but I don't want to smoke a cigarette, you put more PG in there, and then that's going to give your throat more of a burn, kind of like you're smoking a cigarette. Now, these flavors, you can order these online. I use the Flavors Apprentice, but these are the same things that go into your foods, your baking goods, any artificial and sometimes natural flavoring that you see. It's going to be the same type of thing that we're going to put into our mixture today. The nicotine here, now this is the one that you want to be careful with. What I got is 100 milligrams per milliliter. This is the most potent that you can buy without having a license, but it's also dangerous. It can cause skin rashes. You know, you don't want to ingest this. That's why we use these other ingredients to dilute the solution. Now, to make the solution, you can do a few different things. What I did was I downloaded an app, and it's going to show us exactly how much of each ingredient we want to use. So I'm making a 30 milliliter concoction here. That's how much I'm going to end up with at the end. So my recipe calls for 10.5 milliliters of PG and VG. So that's going to be the body of it. That's going to be 21 milliliters. And then it's going to say 3 milliliters of nicotine and 3 milliliters of flavor, plus 3 milliliters of water. Now I've already gone and I've mixed my PG, my VG, and my water in here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add our nicotine and our flavoring, which is going to be orange cream today. You always want to use gloves when it's coming to this nicotine, because like I said, it can cause skin irritation because it's so strong, but once we dilute it, it's going to be at a safe level. Now, a couple of the different things that you're going to need. You can buy these at any pharmacy or health store. It's used to measure liquid, mostly for babies, to give them their medicine and things like that. And then you can use that for the PG and the VG because those are bigger numbers that you're doing. Now, when it comes to the nicotine and the flavor, you're going to want a syringe. Probably not going to want to go to the health store and ask, do you have any syringes that I can buy? It's kind of frowned upon right now, but you can order them online, and what you're going to order is a blunt tip syringe. It looks the same as a syringe that you might use to draw blood or put something into your blood system, but it's dull and it's used for fine measurement of liquids. So we're going to draw 3 milliliters of liquid here, and this is our nicotine. Nice and slow, especially with this one. You want it to be the right amount. Okay, we got that in there. We're going to go ahead and put that into our mixture. Kind of give it a little swirl. Set it off to the side. I like to put a little sticker on my stuff so that I know which one I use for which. So even after I clean them and wash them when I'm done, there's still not going to be any cross-contamination, because you don't want that. So the next thing we're going to do is our flavor. Now this one, this is where it comes down to the recipe and what you want. You can add a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on what you like. This is a lot safer of a bet here, okay? You got a lot more leeway than you do when it comes to the nicotine. So we're going to go ahead. I put about 3.5 in there. The recipe called for 3, but it'll just be a little bit sweeter, a little bit tastier. Close that up. Then we're going to give it a little swirl here. You can mix it up with something. Then you're going to want to set it off to the side, put a cover on it, and let it set. Different people have different opinions. I let mine set for about a week at a time and kind of get a good mixture and soak all the flavor in. Everything is good to go. But it's all personal preference, really. A lot of people will make it and just go at it from the get-go. But I hope you learned something today. Look online. There's a million resources, and you can do pretty much anything you want with this. And at the end of the day, you can go to the store and get these store-bought guys, and you can spend about $30 for this bottle right here. This is a 30 milliliter bottle, and this is a 30 milliliter juice that I just made myself, and it probably cost me about 45 cents if I did the math. The end result,